Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to look at the Storm Hero review. Storm came in Mutant Genesis the same day as Wolverine, so we were about three-quarters of the way through the Mutant Genesis at this point. So Storm's got something super unique, and we'll go over what she does. But
But first, we'll start with Storm herself. She is a.
oh, well, I was going to do Aurora.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, do Aurora first.
All right. So much for not tripping over each other.
Yeah.
All right. So her alter ego, she's got a hand size 6, 10 hit points. Mutant. Aurora Monroe begins the game with a weather deck. So a weather deck is these four supports that are not part of her kit. So kind of similar to Doctor Strange's invocation deck, except for it's not an actual deck. It's just you get to choose what card you want to play. You'll see how that works in a minute.
Yeah, it's basically they're all permanents, but it's just which one is active.
Yeah, only
That's
one can
basically-
be active at a time. So I feel a storm coming, set up, choose a support from the weather deck and put it into play. And we'll go over those in a second. But all right.
All right. So the Storm card herself, she is an X-Men. She is 1 fort, 2 attack, 1 defense. She has five hand size, but she has as an action weather control. You can swap the weather support in play with the one currently. You could swap the one currently in play with one from the weather deck, your choice, and then you resolve the special of the new card. And you can do this limit 1 time per round.
Okay. So yeah, so the weather deck is 4 different supports. They're permanent, like we said. So the first one is Blizzard, which is weather card permanent. Each character gets -1 attack. Choose a non-elite minion until the end of the round. Treat that minion's text box as if it was blank, except for traits. So one of the nice things, or the things you kind of want to coordinate, is because her, what is it? Her weather control ability is an action. So like when you're playing multiplayer, you can let everybody do their attacks, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to switch to Blizzard, and now the villain and all the minions will attack at -1 during the villain phase.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. So that's one of her cards.
The next one we've got is the Clear Skies. So Clear Skies is each character gains Stalwart, and the special is you draw 1 card. And one thing, though, you'll kind of notice here now that we've got a couple of them, and you'll see it as we go, each of them actually does have a different resource. Even though they're a permanent you cannot play, they do have a different resource, and that'll come into play here in a minute.
Yep. Okay. The next one is Hurricane. It's permanent. Each character gains Retaliate 1, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So there's another option, like at the beginning of the right at the end of the hero phase, you go, okay, I'm going to switch to Hurricane, and so we all gain Retaliate.
Yep. But it's each character, so it does include the villain and the minions.
Right. So that's kind of like, so timing is.
Timing is key with her.
Yeah.
The last one we got here is Thunderstorm. So this one is each character gets +1 attack. Again, every character. And you deal 2 damage to an enemy.
Okay. And now she's got a couple upgrades that beef her stats. If you notice, her stats are kind of low at 1-2-1, but she's got ways to improve that. So the first one is Storm's Crown. It costs 2. It's an item. Storm gets +1 thwart. Hero resource, exhaust Storm's Crown and generate the printed resource on your weather support. So that's what Dirk was talking. Each one has different. So you can exhaust this to generate the specific resource of the current weather.
So this is nice when if you've got the cards that like the attachments or something that require you to spend a specific resource to get rid of them. There's a way you can do that is you can manipulate your weather deck a little bit.
Yeah, or like home technique or something like that.
Next one here we've got is Storm's Cape. So this is a 3-cost upgrade. It's an item, and she gets +1 defense and gains the aerial trait. So you do want to try to get this one out because that aerial trait is nice. There's really good cards to go along with that. But as a hero response, after you resolve the special ability on your weather card, you can exhaust the cape and ready Storm. So then when she's gotten some of the stat boosts, then you can use her a second time.
All right. Then we have Aurora's Garden. 1-cost support. Alter ego action, exhaust Aurora's Garden, heal 2 damage from your identity. So in addition to her recovery of 3. Okay.
Next here, we've got Weather Goddess. We've got three copies of this. So the Weather Goddess is a superpower. It is a 0 cost, but as a hero action, you can swap the weather support and play with the support of your choice from the deck. So basically, it's an additional use of her, what's that ability called?
Weather Goddess.
Weather Goddess ability. Yeah, it's an additional uses of the, no, it's the weather control. The weather control ability.
Oh, weather control.
And then you resolve the special. So basically, it does the exact same thing as the weather control. So if you can manage to get 3 of these out in a single turn, which we have seen that happen, then you can change 4 times total. And you can change back and forth to the same ones.
And every time you change, you trigger the special.
Yeah. But when you change, you do have to change to a different one. You can't change to the same one.
Right. All right. Then we got 3 copies of Torrential Rain. So you're going to notice a theme here with these in a second. Superpower Thwart, hero action, remove 3 threat from among schemes in play. If Hurricane is in play, then you get to resolve this special ability on Hurricane. So each one of the weathers have a card that's kind of appropriate to that.
Yeah. Next, we've got Lightning Bolt. 2 copies of this one. It's a 3-cost event, and it is a superpower. So that's the other thing to note on these is the Torrential Rain and this one. They're superpowers. But as a hero action, you can deal 8 damage to an enemy, and if Thunderstorm's in play, it resolves her special ability. So this one keys off of Thunderstorm.
All right. Then we got 2 copies of Flash Freeze. It's a 1-cost event. Defense superpower. Hero interrupt defense. When the villain attacks you, the villain and each minion engaged with you gets -3 attack while attacking you this phase. If
Yes. Clear Skies?
No.
Nope.
Clear Skies
it's
doesn't
not.
have one.
I'm joking.
If Blizzard's in play, resolve the special ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Clear Skies is the only one that doesn't have an event that's attached to it.
Yeah. All right, and then we've got 2 copies of Blast of Wind. So Blast of Wind is a 3-cost event. Again, this is a superpower, but you can choose a player. You deal 3 damage to the villain, and each minion engage with that player, and then resolve the special ability of whichever weather support is in play.
So that's the one where Clear Skies can come in because it can allow you to draw more cards.
But the nice thing about that one is it will work with any of them. So
Right. All right. Then her obligation is Claustrophobia. Give to Aurora Moru player. Flip to Alter Ego. You cannot change forms. And then as an Alter Ego action, you can exhaust her to remove it from the game. So it is going to force you to flip, and then you get rid of it like the normal obligations, but you can't just do it instantaneously. You actually have to spin an action in Alter Ego to do it.
Yep, and you cannot come up until you've gotten rid of this.
Right. Yeah, because you cannot change forms. Right, yeah. So you're stuck in Alter Ego. Yeah.
Which there's not a lot that she can do in Alter Ego other than heal, unless she's got cards that specifically call.
But she can heal and heal and heal, especially with the garden.
Yes. Actually, she could probably only do it twice with the guard. Well, depends on how she does it. Okay, so now we've got her signature, or not her signature, her Nemesis minion is Callisto, and Callisto is it's an elite Morlock. So I think this was the first time I remember seeing the Morlocks, if I remember right. But she schemes for 1, she attacks for 3, she's got 5 health. She does have Quick Strike, and as a forced interrupt, whenever a knife fight treachery is revealed, you give Callisto a tough status card. And the knife fight treacheries are coming up.
Yep. All right, but first we got the side scheme here. Leader of the Morlocks. When defeated, the player who defeats this scheme searches the encounter deck and discard pile and set aside area for a knife fight and reveal it. It's got to amplify and 2 threat per player.
So yeah, so if you get rid of that first because you don't want that amplify on there, then you're giving Callisto a knife basically. But okay, so here we've got the Switchblade. It is a attachment. It's got you attach it to the minion with the highest printed attack. Otherwise, the card gains surge. So generally, well, not generally, but quite often that will be Callisto with a 3 attack. But this one, the attached minions attacks gain piercing. So if you've got toughness or whatever, there it gets right through it.
Right, and then here's Knife Fight. We have 2 copies of Knife Fight, actually. So when revealed Alter Ego, this card gains Surge, but when revealed in your hero form, choose an enemy with the highest attack, take damage equal to its attack, and deal damage to that enemy equal to your attack. So there's a Knife Fight.
Yeah, which between Storm and Calypso, Calypso's often winning that fight.
Callisto.
Callisto.
Yeah. All right. So Storm doesn't have anything super unique deck building wise. I mean, her unique thing is her weather deck.
Yeah.
And she's got a lot of superpowers, so some of those cards are in here. But so we kind of went with the aerial theme a little bit, which we've seen before, but this is a lot smaller amount of cards to go through.
Yeah, because pretty much if you're building an aerial deck,
yeah,
those are pretty interchangeable with Storm.
right. There's nothing specific for Storm in this. Well, there's a couple. There's one exception, but
yeah. So of course, if you're playing aggression, Bomb's always a great one here. It's a 2-cost event, but it's an aerial attack. You can exhaust an aerial character you control and choose a player. You deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. So since she doesn't have on her own a really high attack value, this is a good way to get rid of a few things in front of you.
right. So this you'd want some aerial allies.
Yes.
Probably. All right. Then we got Dive Bomb. 4 cost, play only if your enemy has the aerial. Deal 7 damage to the enemy. Deal 1 damage to each other enemy. This is a staple for aerial decks.
Yes, it's aerial aggression. Yes, you definitely want that. Then we've got Piercing Strike. Now, one of the things that I noticed that I thought was kind of a glaring thing with Storm whenever I played her is she doesn't have a lot of, or she doesn't have any piercing built in anywhere. So you have to, you have to work around. And considering she doesn't have really high attacks other than a couple of specials, you got to kind of work around that a bit. So Piercing Strike, I thought, was a good way to do it. I mean, you can do it with her weather ability with which one is it? The Thunderstorm that deals 2 damage with an enemy, but this is another way you can get around it. So Piercing Strike, it's a hero action. You deal 3 damage to an enemy, and the attack gains piercing. It costs 2.
All right. And then we got Pitchback. It's a 1-cost event. Attack aerial. Play only if your identity has the aerial trait. Hero response attack. After your hero attacks, deal 4 damage to an enemy.
Yep.
And then we didn't pull it, but like if you're going to use Dive Bomb, you probably want Home Technique.
Yeah. And like I said, there's a lot of different aerial attack cards or whatever that would work with her. Again, there's the aerial minions that come in the different aspects, and I don't think we really pulled any of them to speak of.
No, I mean we've if you want to see more of that, you can check out like our Angel or our Falcon.
Yeah, we've done a couple of other recently that showed a lot more of those.
Yeah.
All right. So here we've got Agile Flight. It's a 3-cost event. Injustice. It's an aerial thwart event. But you can only play this one if you have aerial, so you do have to wait until you've got the cape out. But you can remove a total of up to 5 threat from among schemes you choose. Now, especially whenever I'm playing an aerial justice, I love this card. Now, it's not necessarily the most efficient, but you have the versatility that you can pull this from up to 5 different schemes if you needed to.
Okay.
So
then we got Yaw and Roll. It's a 1-cost event. Aerial thwart. Play only if your identity has the aerial trait. Hero response thwart. After your hero thwarts, remove 3 threat from a scheme.
So yeah, that's an additional way to beef up her thwart a little bit there.
Yeah.
We've got Eyes in the Sky. It's a 0-cost upgrade. It's an aerial preparation card. But this one is a hero interrupt. When you reveal a non-elite minion, you can exhaust an aerial character you control to discard that card, and then you draw a replacement card for it.
Okay. Then we got Phoenix. Now, she's not aerial, but you'll see why Phoenix is here in a second.
I'm not sure why she's not, honestly.
3-cost ally. She's flying in the image. Yeah.
I know, she flies.
3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit points. Psionic X-Men. After Phoenix enters play, choose an X-Men ally, ready that ally, and heal 1 damage from it. The reason for it is she came because she doesn't have no signature ally. But she has a team-up card, Soul Sisters, so you could team up with this Phoenix card, or if another player is playing the Phoenix hero. Team up Phoenix and Storm, max 1 per deck. Ready Phoenix and Storm, heal 2 damage from each of them. And so you can heal in a hero phase, which is amazing.
Yes, that is wonderful. Then another one we've got here is Pixie. So Pixie, she is a 2-cost X-Men ally. She does have the aerial trait. So, if you are going into the area and you want to use something like a team building, she'll work there for that, but she also works for the X-Men trait as well. But she thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, and takes 2 consequential when she attacks. But the great thing about her is after you put her into play from your hand, then you can add an X-Men ally from your discard pile to your hand. So then there's another way if you wanted to use that Phoenix, you can bring back Phoenix or any other X-Men ally that you might be using.
Okay. And then we have Air Supremacy, Aerial Tactic. Choose up to X enemies where X is equal to the number of aerial characters you control. Deal 3 damage to each chosen enemy. And Pixie would help with that because she's aerial. Pixie would also help with this card.
This one's Flying Formation. It's a 4-cost event. It is an aerial tactic, and it is an alliance card, so you can actually get help from other players as well to play this one. But you ready up to 3 aerial characters. So yeah, I mean, if you're playing toward an aerial build, that's a definite positive there.
And also, it's 3 aerial characters. It doesn't say 3 aerial characters you control.
Yeah.
So
you can spread that around.
All right, then for protection, we have Ever Vigilant, Aerial Skill, play only if you have Aerial, Hero Action, Ready Your Hero, and remove 2 threat from the main scheme.
Next here, we've got Height Advantage. It is a 1-cost upgrade. It's an aerial tactic. So while you have the aerial trait, you reduce the amount of damage you take from each enemy attack by 1. And then as a forced interrupt, when your turn begins, discard this card. So this is one that you'll play. It'll stick around through the duration of the enemy phase. And then, it goes away. But if you're going to do anything that forces the enemy to attack during the hero phase, then you play this during your turn because it's going to stick around until the beginning of your next turn.
All right. Now we're on the basics. We got Angel, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Aerial X-Men, reduce the cost to play Angel by 1 if your identity has mutant or X-Men trait.
Next, we've got Cannonball. This is a great one for any aerial themed deck, but he's a 3-cost ally. He thwarts for 2. He attacks for 2. He's only got 2 health. So, I mean, under standard rules, he does 1 action and he's gone. But as an interrupt, whenever he would take any amount of consequential damage, you can reduce that damage by X, where X is the number of aerial cards in your hand. So if you play him earlier in the turn and use him, or use him earlier in the turn, then, you still got a couple of aerial cards. So you can actually use him repeatedly without him taking any consequential.
All right. And for an event, we got Mutant Education, a 0-cost event. Play only if you're a mutant. So choose up to 2 identity-specific cards in your discard pile and shuffle them back into your deck. If X mentions in play, you can draw a card. So her events are really powerful.
Yes.
So you definitely want to.
They are what makes her so phenomenal is those events.
Right.
And the way they work. And then, so here we've got X-Men Instructions, a 0-cost event. Now, you do have to have the mutant trait, so you have to be down whenever you play this. But as an alter ego action, you can choose up to 2 X-Men allies from your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck. And then again, if the X-Mansion is in play, you get to draw a card.
So obviously that's great if you got a lot of X-Men, or you using this card, Children of the Atom, a 1-cost support, play under any player's control. Each X Factor, X Force, and X-Men character you control gains X Factor, X Force, and X-Men. So now,
so now you've turned your X Force and your X Factor characters into X-Men,
right? Which will help with the previous card, X-Men Instructor, and what is it called?
X-Men, X-Men Instruction.
Yeah.
So but the important thing to remember is you have to control them, so they don't gain their trait until they're in play.
Right.
All right. Next year we've got Front Organization. Now, because she's got a couple of upgrades here that are very important to her, the cape and the crown. This is a really good card for that because it's a 0-cost support. That's a location, max 1 per player, but you can play under any player's control. But the great thing about this one is when an encounter card effect would cause you to discard a card that you control, you can discard this one instead. So if something tells you have to discard your most expensive upgrade or support, and that happens to be your cape, you discard this one instead, and then you don't have to worry about it.
All right. And then this is kind of a standard for mutant decks. Moira McTaggart, 2-cost support, persona, play only if your identity has a mutant trait. After a mutant alter ego changes into hero form, exhaust Moira McTaggart. That hero controller draws a card. Yep. So that works great if you're going down to use the X-Men Instructor or Mutant Education,
Or the Garden.
or the Garden,
Yep. So then here we've got Team Building Exercises, 2-cost event. It is as a hero action, you can exhaust this to play a card from your hand that shares a trait with your character at a cost reduction of 1. So, it's great because the aerial, you can use it with the aerial or the X-Men trait.
Right. Then we got the X-Jet, cost 3, vehicle X-Men, resource, exhaust the X-Jet, generate a wild resource for a player whose identity has the X-Men trait.
So and if you got the Clear Skies and the X-Jet out there with the crown, you can actually generate 2 wilds if you needed to for something.
Okay.
All right, so here we've got Utopia. Utopia is a 2-cost support. It is an X-Men location. So if each of your allies has the X-Men trait, then it increases your ally limit by 1. And then what happens, though, is after an X-Men ally enters play, you can exhaust this to ready an X-Men character. And it's a character, so it could either be your hero, it could be one of your allies, it could be another hero or ally in the play, as long as they have the trait.
Okay. Then we have Weapon X, 1 cost support, play only if you have the mutant trait. Alter ego action, exhaust Weapon X and take 1 damage. Discard cards from your deck until you discard an identity specific card, then add that card to your hand.
Yep.
So again, you want to grab the storm cards.
Okay, now here is the X Mansion that was mentioned on a couple of cards earlier. So what this is, it's a 2-cost support. It is an X-Men location, but as an alter ego action, you can exhaust the X Mansion to heal 1 damage to a mutant or X-Men character. And any player who has the mutant trait can trigger this ability. So anybody else at the table, it doesn't just have to be you, if they are in alter ego or have the mutant trait in some way. I don't think anybody has it on the hero side yet that I can think of offhand. But if they happen to have the mutant trait, they can utilize this as well. So that's really nice.
When you put your costume on, you're no longer a mutant.
Yeah. Never really quite understood that.
All right, there we got Def Focus. It's a 1 cost upgrade. It's a skill, max 1 per player. Exhaust Def Focus, reduce the resource cost of each superpower. Of the next superpower of each. That'd be amazing. Of the next superpower card, you play this by 1. So she's got a lot of super.
Yeah, she's got 10. 3 of them are 0 cost, so it doesn't help with those. But the others, that's still 7 more that gives a cost reduction to.
And the last card?
The last card here is X-Gene. This is a 1 cost upgrade. This one is you do have to be in mutant form to play this. You have to have the mutant ability, but you can exhaust it and you generate a wild resource for an identity specific event. So between the X-Jet, the X-Gene, and her
Def Focus.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, and the Clear Skies, she can actually get 3 wild, so she can pay for almost anything out there with those.
As long as it's identity specific.
Yeah.
And a superpower. All right. So that was Storm. So she's amazing. I really like the weather deck. She doesn't have anything super unique as far as
Deck
building, but her uniqueness comes with her hero kit.
Yeah, a lot of times you want to try to build a deck as thin as you can so that you can get to the hero cards faster. But with her, that seems like it's more of a key because her cards are so specific and they don't have any outstanding synergies really outside of her kit.
So she's a really good candidate for our basic deck.
Yes,
because
he is wonderful.
The idea behind it is to get to the hero cards as fast as possible.
Yeah, because
obviously that's what you want to do with Storm.
Yeah, those basics have a lot of supports and upgrades that come out and stay out, so they get removed from your deck. So you have a very thin deck you're going through, get to them faster. So yeah, she's a perfect candidate for those.
All right. Well, anyways. So that was our Storm.
Hey, we finally promised you a short video. This one's short.
This one's short.
I haven't looked to see how long it is yet, but it's definitely shorter.
Yeah, about 20 minutes or so.
Oh, all right, way shorter.
All right. So thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see new content from us as we put it up, go ahead and hit that notify bell down there, and you will get alerts whenever we post new videos.
All right.